cent wings.
It's Christmas in July at Pillar Restaurant Group when you purchase a $100 gift card and receive a $15 bonus card. One gift card for all of our locations, including Venue Restaurant and Lounge, Piedmont Bistro, the Butchery and Venue at Home, and all Lincoln Good Sense subs. Our Christmas in July gift card special is available at all Pillar Restaurant Group locations or online at prgnebraska.com. That's prgnebraska.com to get a $15 bonus card when you purchase a $100 gift card.
Husker fans, this is Matt Davison with the 1890 Initiative. You've probably heard about NIL, name, image, and likeness, and now you can have an immediate impact on the success of our programs. The 1890 Initiative is Nebraska's premier NIL company, and with your, we can maximize our student athletes' opportunities with NIL and prepare them for life after college. Nebraska has always been a leader in college athletics. Let's do the same with NIL. To learn more, visit 1890nebraska.com, where 100% of your donation goes directly to Husker student athletes. That's 1890nebraska.com.
Ever wish you had another light switch on the other side of the room on a dark night? How much better would you sleep at night if you had a ceiling fan in your room? The High Electric Service Department is here to make your electrical what-ifs a reality. Whether you're looking to replace some outdated light fixtures or brighten up your counters with under-cabinet lighting, High Electric can handle all types of residential electrical installations and services. Give Erica a call at 402-466-6606 or visit high-electric.com to get started.
There's a lot of realtors in Lincoln, but don't get overwhelmed by all the names. Ben Bleicher with Professional Realtor Group at Berkshire Hathaway Ambassador Real Estate is your go-to option when buying or selling residential and commercial property. Ben's team offers unbeatable customer service and promises to make the buying and selling process as stress-free as possible. Call Ben today at 402-419-6309 for all your real estate needs. Ben Bleicher with Professional Realty Group at Berkshire Hathaway Ambassador Real Estate. No pressure, just professionalism.
The sweet relief of air conditioning after a hot day in the summer sun. For only $2.88 a day, LES helps power life's special moments and your comfort. Learn more at les.com/value.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. The home of Kansas City Royals baseball. KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket. You're listening to Big Ten Media Days coverage from Indianapolis. Sponsored by Gary Michaels Clothiers, Warhorse Gaming, A1 Automotive, the 1890 Initiative, and Ben Bleicher of Professional Realty Group of BHHS Ambassador Real Estate on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. This is the Happy Hour.
You guys going to happy hour?
Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America.
Yeah, I'll come for a couple.
Here are your hosts, Nick Sainert.
I want to know what it's like to commit a crime without having to spend time in jail.
And Enrique Alvarez Clary.
C is for chunk.
Brought to you by Empire Fence and Netting on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome in. It's the Happy Hour. 93.7 The Ticket, theticketfm.com. Nick Sainert and Rico back here in good old Lincoln, Nebraska. After the conclusion of day 2 of Big Ten Media Days. Hello, Rico. Hello. How's the day?
It's good.
Are you chugging the Kool-Aid?
No.
Well, then Big Ten Media Days didn't do what it was supposed to do to you.
I don't think it's supposed to do that to me. I think it's just supposed to inform me on what's happening. And for me, Big Ten Media Day is more about learning more about other teams than it is about Nebraska. I learn about Nebraska all the time when we're here. This is learning about other teams.
Okay, so what'd you learn today?
I learned that Ernest Hausman is bulky.
He's a dog.
I've learned that you good? If there's a delay.
There is a delay.
I've learned that Blake Corum Blake Corum reminds Amon of himself.
Yep.
That we are all fans of Braylon Allen.
Braylon Allen had the sniffles today.
He did. He was a little sick, a little sicky. I learned that. What else did I learn?
Must not have been.
I learned that you have to identify who you work for in your name before you ask a question.
Okay, so a couple things from Matt Rule. Couple things from Matt Rule's podium side, your podium session. Yeah, you got to identify yourself and your affiliate before you ask a question. Number 2, to the person that asked a very, very off the wall and pretty much just unapplicable question to Matt Rule and his time at Nebraska, you still ask the question incorrectly, because the tragedy that the reporter was describing and mentioning, and we're in no way trying to like throw shade at the tragedy
We're
that
not trying to
happened.
downplay that.
That happened 24 hours after Nebraska played. So you mentioned how back, was it 2017?
I think that's
Or
what they
maybe
said.
not 2017. It was a couple years ago. Obviously predated.
In Waukesha.
Yeah, well, predated Matt Rule's arrival.
Yes.
And the reporter mentioned something about praying on the field after the game. And that 24 hours after that, there was a tragedy that occurred up in Wisconsin. And basically alluding to the fact that, hey, they prayed in honor of that tragedy that had not occurred yet.
Yeah.
And so just a very off the wall question, but more importantly, Matt Rule's way of still figuring out a way to
props to Matt
answer
Rule on
that.
figuring out a way to answer the question, kind of,
Yeah.
or just kind of, going around the question. It was a weird question. I don't know why it was asked, but hey, you're there in the media pool. You have the right to ask a question.
I suppose so. As always, 402-464-5685, the Honda of Lincoln hotline, the Starter Heyman text line are both ways for you to get in touch with the show, as well as the Starter Heyman Jewelers video stream, Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter. As day 2 of Big Ten Media Days has concluded, our coverage has concluded on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Nick Sainer and Rico here for you. It's officially the happy hour. Shout out to our sponsor, Empire Fence and Netting. And thanks to all of our sponsors for their support of Big Ten Media Day coverage. I don't have the paper in front of me, but I believe I should be able to get them off the top of my head.
Go ahead. Let's see if you
Gary Michaels Clothiers, the 1890 Initiative.
Come
The
on.
1890 Initiative.
Yep.
A1 Automotive.
Yes.
Don't
It's the
tell
really
me.
long one.
Don't tell me. Oh, Ben Bleicher with PRG Ambassador Real Estate.
Uh-huh.
And then there's one more in there that I am definitely missing and forgetting about, but I can't. Help me out, Rico. I know you can see it.
I'm trying to look at it without pulling it up and putting it as a cover on our. You know,
we had a piece of paper.
Who are you forgetting? Warhorse.
Warhorse Casino.
I threw it up
How
on the
could I
stream.
forget that?
It's gonna pop up really quick on the screen.
How could I forget Warhorse? How could I forget? I'm sorry. I apologize. But thanks to those sponsors for helping us out as well. Okay, so let's do a pulse, just a check, a welfare check on Husker Nation here.
Yeah, I want to check on where Husker Nation went.
Yeah,
you had like 100 viewers.
Oh no.
And now we don't have 100 viewers.
So here's a question for Husker Nation. 402-464-5685, the Honda of Lincoln hotline, and the Starter Heyman text line, as well as the video stream. You can comment on the video streams as well, Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter. How many wins after hearing Matt Rule, Luke Reimer, Ethan Piper, and Jeff Sims earlier today, and you'll be able to hear them again here just in a little bit. After hearing them speak to not only our guys, but to the entire Big Ten country, where are we sitting at? How many wins do you think Nebraska is able to muster up coming up this fall? Obviously, they start off with PJ Fleck in Minnesota. Then they have a road game against Colorado.
Future Big 12
That's right.
member, Colorado.
Home games against Louisiana Tech and Northern Illinois before the bulk of the Big Ten schedule, greets them with a home game and potentially Jim Harbaugh's first game of the season.
Yeah, it's a welcome back party.
Michigan on September 30th. Where are we sitting at? Do you even change, right? Because, and the reason I think this is important to ask is just a few weeks ago, we had multiple texters who have texted in saying, no matter what we hear at Big Ten Media Days, no matter what we hear in fall camp, nothing's going to change my mind. And that's totally fine if you're on that side of the fence. But then the reason I asked this question to you is because earlier today, when we're hearing Matt Rule talk, and we carried his speech and his press conference at the podium that all of Big Ten country saw, we had people texting in and commenting on our various streams that, screw it, I'm drinking the Kool-Aid. Nebraska's needed this guy forever. This is finally, Nebraska has a guy that gets it. Matt Rule just gets it and understands. I'm chugging the Kool-Aid. All of those were texts and reactions that we received throughout today and throughout the Huskers speaking to various outlets.
I have heard people say this guy gets it before, not comparing the two, but that is kind of, sort of what was said when Frost was hired. This guy gets it. He's been a part of the culture. He knows exactly what needs to happen. I'm not, downplaying what Rule said. I rather enjoyed what he said. I thought it was great. It was very exciting to hear, and it makes you want to believe that Nebraska is 100% going to get back to where they belong and where they need to be. For me, it's going to sound rude. It was just talk. It's just words.
Okay.
It doesn't mean much to me until it happens on the field. I'm not letting what happened last year happen to me again.
Okay.
Where I changed my record.
You're going to change your record
and
at
then
the
was
beginning of the
heartbroken.
season.
I'm not doing it. I'm sticking with my record. I know exactly what I think is going to happen, but I'm not going to share that until a later date.
Okay.
But it sounds great, and in a way, you want to believe that what he's saying will come to fruition. You want to believe that everything he says is happening and everybody is taking all of these things extremely seriously. But at the same time, you still have to be careful. You still have to, sit back and wait and see what happens with Nebraska, because you want to say you want to say it, you want to see it on the field, and we say that every year. And sometimes you open up with a group of 5 team or a team like that, and you see something great, and you're like, wow, this is amazing. This is exactly what we want to see. Not this year. You're opening up with 2 Power 5 opponents. One of them only had 1 win last year, but they should be improved from last season with Coach Prime at the helm. But you're getting a Minnesota team that should be very good this season with PJ Fleck and his Fleck Bank at the helm. So you will get
baseless.
You will get a great test in your first 2 games, and I think that will set kind of the base, the foundation for the season and for, I don't want to say the entire Rule tenure, but at least for the first year, year 1, year 0, whatever you want to call it, for Matt Rule and his coaching staff.
402-464-5685, the Honda of Lincoln hotline, and the Starter Heyman text line. Both those open for you guys. Love to take your phone calls. Love to take your texts as well. We got a couple texts rolling in here. Hole in a Boat, and this kind of just sums up everything I said perfectly. Hole in a Boat says this year is going to be different. Sims, Ethan Piper, and Luke Reimer are giving me the chills. Derek in a Car says, I like our chances against Northwestern, Purdue, and Maryland in the conference. I think we can win all 3 non-cons for bowl eligibility, but it won't be easy, says Derek in a Car. And that's I mean, completely acceptable and understandable. And 6153 here says, Nick, you can't blame people for being a little cynical. Frost was the king of hype, and he always under-delivered badly. I think most fans won't believe it until they see it. And I think a lot of people, including myself, and obviously, as Rico just alluded to, he's in that boat as well. And that's completely acceptable and understandable. And I do not blame you guys at all. We got another one that says 6 wins is where I'm at. That's what we need, and that's what we expect. I thought that before Big Ten Media Days, and I think that now. That is from Isaac in Lincoln. There was a big discussion today whether Matt Rule was talking to our guys, whether Matt Rule was talking at the podium. There was a similar message being sold to anybody who would listen, basically, that Nebraska needs to, quote, take back the respect, and then eventually, once Nebraska is nationally respected, then they can be feared, right? So once again, we hear this consistent message that we heard last November and early December when Matt Rule was hired. And so I think that's something that you can appreciate because the focus hasn't changed. But once again, people can always just rebuttal that with coach speak, as Brett says on the text line. It's all coach speak. Understandable. And I don't blame you one bit for feeling that way. Let's go to the phone lines. We got a couple phone calls here. 402-464-5685. We got True Red on the line first. True Red, happy Thursday, man. What's on your mind?
Not much, fellas. Off season is over. We're in full swing, especially starting next Tuesday. Drink the Kool-Aid.
All right.
I took a shower in the Kool-Aid. I'm dyed red. We got a favorable schedule. We have tons of returning starters, even with the new transfer players. So many of them have a lot of playing time experience. Jeff Sims is a prototype of Josh Allen as far as body build, height. He can deliver bone crushing blows on running plays. I think his arm will come to form. I expect to be 4-0 going into the Michigan game. I see Jeff Sims getting 3 touchdowns against Michigan. I think it'll come down to field goal, but I'm going 8-4 and a chance to go to the Big Ten championship game, even if we lose that. I see 9-5.
Okay. Well, thank you, True Red. I appreciate that phone call. Just to kind of give more context to the unique comparison from Jeff Sims and Josh Allen. Jeff Sims sits at 6'4", 220. Josh Allen sits at 6'5", 239. So a little bit bigger is Josh Allen.
Is that NFL now?
That's NFL now. But still, I mean, I suppose, similar games, similar talent. I'm going to have to lean towards Josh Allen in that one.
I'm going Josh Allen college stats because I know the thing that everybody talks about with Jeff Sims is his accuracy. And I remember Josh Allen coming out of Wyoming, a thing that everybody's worried about, accuracy. Josh Allen in his senior year at Wyoming threw for not a lot of yards. He threw for more his sophomore year, but his junior year, he threw for 1,812 yards on 56% completion, 16 touchdowns, and 6 interceptions. 56%. That's around what Jeff Sims was completing down in Georgia Tech, and everybody's saying, the lack of accuracy and all that stuff. So collegiate wise, I guess, but Josh Allen really improved himself once he went to the NFL. And I feel like I'm super negative right now, and I don't mean to be because we just got all this hype from the coaching staff. I hate being negative. I love being positive. I love being happy. Returning starters.
Rico, are you not happy?
I am happy. Returning starters for this team in terms of a different offense, a different defense, different coaches all around, aside from the offensive line. Returning starters mean very little because everybody's starting from page one. I understand that your body and everything that you've learned playing collegiate football gives you an upper hand on true freshmen.
Yeah.
But in terms of transfers coming in who have also played collegiate football, everybody is learning from the first step, the first page of the book. So I don't think the returning starters argument is all that valid. It's good to have guys who have been on this team and can, show you how they traveled before, but maybe they traveled differently. Maybe the routines and everything that they do is going to be different now under Matt Rule. So it's, I don't get too worked up with the returning starters narrative, but I do think that this team has a lot of people with experience playing the collegiate game who are in good positions to make large contributions for Nebraska.
Well, so we're getting a couple texts on the text line. Eric says, Rico, take a sunshine pill. We get another one that says, Rico hates everything. Pecan Pie says, Rico, you are always negative.
That is lies.
Here's an interesting text. It says, it's from an unnamed texter. It says, I just don't get the point of past Kool-Aid drinking being the reason you won't drink now. Why do the new guys get less support because of what past staffs have done? And I suppose when you put it that way, it's like, well, dang, maybe you got a point there. But then also, unfortunately, I think that Nebraska fans have just had their heart ripped out of their chest over and over and over again. That's kind of what maybe the staff, not that they care about how much Kool-Aid is being drank throughout the fan base. I think that's maybe just what they signed up for, right? And there's a lot of fixes, and there's a lot of Husker fans that are kind of going into the fall with a fence around their heart, basically, to just say, hey, we're gonna wait and see. Maybe not even in terms of wins, but just is it a competent football team? Because I think you could argue that if Matt Rule and his staff are able to put together, Angry Rams fan, this was Angry Rams fan, we'll have to put them in there. But Angry Rams fan, I guess in response to that, like, it's not even, I don't know for a lot of Husker fans, if it's wins and losses that will determine that. I think it's just more competent football and fundamental football is a term we like to throw around here, because guess what? That would be a step up, I think, from what Nebraska fans have seen the last 4.5 years. And you began to see it under Mickey Joseph to an extent. So you know that it's possible. and it could even be within arm's reach. But you just want to wait before you fully absorb all that Kool-Aid.
Like, don't get me wrong, this team is going to be better than last year's team. This team is going to be improved, and they're going to play better. I just don't know if the wins are going to follow. I don't know if they're going to get up to 8 wins this season. I know everybody says it's a favorable schedule, but it's still the Big Ten. It's still, look, Iowa's going to be hard. Wisconsin with Luke Fickell at the helm is going to be hard. I love Illinois.
I don't know why you love Illinois. I don't know why I love Illinois.
Minnesota. I know everybody wants to rag on PJ Fleck in Minnesota. Minnesota is going to be a pretty good team. I don't know why I believe that, but I do. Kaliak Manis, I mean, he showed Nebraska what he can do last season in the game, so you can't really count them out. He's leading the charge for them. Michigan's going to be Michigan. Like, You'll probably, like, if you're looking at the Big Ten West, you'll probably get wins over Northwestern and Purdue, but not Illinois. But after that, I saw somebody text in and say, I like our chances against Maryland. Why do you like Nebraska's chances against Maryland? They one of the 2 returning quarterbacks in the Big Ten, and Tally is a damn good quarterback.
Yeah, I'm not as sold on the whole 2 quarterbacks have returned in the Big Ten. Like, all right. There's a lot of places that have Power 5 quarterbacks now that they just didn't play in the Big Ten last year. I don't know. Like I feel like we put a lot of weight on that little descript, the little keynote there, where it's like, Talia is one of the 2 returning quarterbacks. I think that just says more about all the unknowns at quarterback for a lot of the teams,
and I think that puts you in a worse spot than a team that has a returning quarterback.
I don't know. Like I mean,
like, Iowa's sitting pretty because Cade McNamara was already a Big Ten starter. He knows how to play in this league. He knows how to play against these other teams.
I'm trying to think of somebody like
Ohio State doesn't know who their quarterback is.
Okay, so Michigan State, for example, they lost Peyton Thorne, but was Peyton Thorne that good last year?
They're gonna have Noah Kim starting at quarterback, and based on what we've heard from DP, Noah Kim is a damn good quarterback.
So that's what I'm saying. Like, just because Michigan State doesn't have I don't know how much of a disadvantage Michigan State now is at because they didn't return a quarterback. Like, I feel like that's just part of it. I don't know, but either way, that's not necessarily the case. Or the point. 402-464-5685. We got another phone call that we'll have to get to here in just a moment.
I did love listening to Jeff Sims and Ethan, especially
when Ethan Piper was more interesting.
When Ethan Piper was talking about these aren't just my brother, these are my family, and he's like, I'm gonna do everything in my power to keep you from hitting my quarterback. Like, I'll lose an arm, I'll break a leg, like, I'll die if I have to. I'm sitting here listening to Ethan Piper talk about that, and I'm like, I really like this offense. Like, listening to Ethan Piper, if the whole offensive line has that mentality, Jeff Sims is going to keep a pretty clean jersey.
Let's go back to the Honda of Lincoln hotline, 402-464-5685. Before we got to take a break here in a few minutes. We got Bob on the line. Bob, how are we feeling?
Hey, you know what? I'm feeling good. I'm not going to change my perspective. Knowing what I know, that there is a big night and day difference between last staff and this staff. I believe we're going to be more physical too.
Okay.
We can go 12 games. We can lose games too, but I'm not going to go through the schedule. We're going to lose this game. We're going to lose this game. We're going to lose this game because, the players have got to go the mentality of, we got to go in and we're going to win this game. Mm-hmm. And if they go on the mentality of, we might lose this game, they've already lost. Okay, I'm going in the season as we're going to win this game. We're going to win this game. I don't see a game on our schedule we can't win. We got some tough games, yeah, but you know what? Who's going to be the tougher? Who wants it the most? And I believe Nebraska wants it more than anybody right now. Mm. This fan base wants it more than anybody. This coaching staff wants it more than anybody. And you know what? Players are going to want it more than anybody.
All right. Thanks, Bob.
Everybody's going to be in a dogfight when they come and play Nebraska.
Yeah. We appreciate the phone call, Bob. Appreciate that. As always, once again, 402-464-5685. So Bob's calling for a natty.
That's what he said.
That's what it sounds like.
He's called into the captain a few times and has said the same thing.
Some thoughts from just Matt Rule's side podium. I think he should be on Big Ten Network right now.
He's at the desk.
He's on the desk right now, but he had a side session just a little bit ago, And these are just some of the reports out of it. It sounds like Marquise Buford won't be ready for the start of fall camp. He's coming off of that ACL tear that he suffered last year. No update yet on Eric Gilbert's waiver.
Eric or Arik?
Arik, excuse me.
I would say, did we get clarification on the name?
Arik Gilbert's waiver, obviously the tight end from Georgia. Rule said, quote, "I do believe he should be allowed to play, and I'm hopeful that he can." Nebraska head coach Matt Rule also said, quote, "I'm confident about our team and where we're headed. I don't have a timetable, but I know from what I've seen so far that I'm confident I made the right decision."
It'd be weird if he said he wasn't.
That would, well, or if he didn't say it at all, I suppose. Yeah, so there's that. We got confirmation earlier today that Matt Rule is a chili and cinnamon rolls type of guy. Just a couple odd off the wall questions from his podium session earlier today out in Indianapolis. Once again, huge shout out to Jake Sorensen, Derek Pearson, Jay Foreman, Vershawn, Terrell, Amon, all the guys out there. I don't think I missed anybody. Steve Sipple, even for that matter, for all of our guys out there in Indy for a heck of a job the last 2 days covering all the action out there. Shout out to all the players that sat down with us yesterday. It was Cooper DeJean and Jay Higgins from Iowa. Today, a lot of big names: Blake Corum, Braylon Allen, Chris Jenkins from Michigan. A lot of big names. Shout out to the 3 Huskers: Ethan Piper, Jeff Sims, Luke Reimer, Matt Rule, Trev Alberts. They all sat down with our guys. And if you missed any of that content, you can go over to theticketfm.com, and on the podcast page, you'll be able to check out the podcast and those interviews individually.
And I believe we're getting them posted on YouTube as well.
There you go. All right, so now you're actually going to be able to hear one of those. We're going to play when we return. We mentioned how much we enjoyed listening to Ethan Piper earlier today. So when we come back, we're going to dive in. We're going to play the Ethan Piper conversation for you. And at the end, Jeff Sims, in fact, stops on by. And so it's just going to be both of those guys. We're going to roll right through it. It'll be Ethan Piper and the quarterback, QB1, the Georgia Tech transfer, Jeff Sims, playing for you guys on 93.7 The Ticket. It's the happy hour. Don't go anywhere. Ethan Piper and Jeff Sims coming up next.
You're listening to Big Ten Media Days coverage from Indianapolis, sponsored by Gary Michael Clothiers, Warhorse A1 1890 Initiative, and Ben Bleicher of Professional of BJS Real Estate on 93.7 The Ticket and The Ticket FM. Follow Nick and Enrique on Twitter at Nick and at Radio Rico AC. More of Happy Hour is next on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
You've driven by GE Landscape Supply countless times, likely without even knowing, at 6701 Cornhusker Highway. Now it's time to stop in. GE Landscape Supply sells to homeowners and contractors with a vast selection of landscaping and construction materials. They sell in bulk to save you money, and you can buy anything from a 5-gallon bucket to a semi-load. And don't forget, they deliver anywhere. Stop by 6701 Cornhusker Highway from 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday to Friday, and 7 a.m. to 4 p.m. on Saturdays. Go to GELandscapesupply.com for more info, or call 402-467-1627.
It's Christmas in July at Pillar Restaurant Group when you purchase a $100 gift card and receive a $15 bonus card. 1 gift card for all of our locations, including Venue Restaurant and Lounge, Piedmont Bistro, the Butchery and Venue at Home, and all Lincoln Good Sense subs. Our Christmas in July gift card special is available at all Pillar Restaurant Group locations or online at prgnebraska.com. That's prgnebraska.com. to get a $15 bonus card when you purchase a $100 gift card.
The sweet relief of air conditioning after a hot day in the summer sun. For only $2.88 a day, LES helps power life's special moments and your comfort. Learn more at les.com/value.
It's a new era for Nebraska football with a new head coach. Gear up for the season with 93.7 The Ticket's coverage of Big Ten Media Days. Live from Lucas Oil Stadium in Indianapolis on July 26th and 27th. Jay Foreman, Amon Green, Vershawn Jackson, Terrell Farley, Derek Pearson, Steve Sipple, and Jake Sorensen will be in Indy for our shows on Wednesday and Thursday. Coverage of Big Ten Media Days is brought to you by Ben Bleicher of Professional Realty Group of BHHS Ambassador Real Estate, Gary Michaels Clothiers, Warhorse Gaming, A1 Automotive, and the 1890 Initiative.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Koppel Chevrolet GMC, and Koppel's big summer sales event is kicking off into high gear with lots of fantastic offers still going on. We've got 0.9% interest rates and trade-in bonuses on select new models. I know it all sounds too good to be true, but yes, 0.9% interest rates right now at Koppel. Also ramping up our back-to-school vehicles, and our pre-owned inventory is filling fast. We've got great new pre-owned and GM-certified units ready to roll, so stop on by the dealership or online at koppelcars.com. You'll be glad you did. All deals with approved credit.
If you want to make new floor shopping easier, come to O Street Carpet. Hi, I'm Steve Carper. Our flooring professionals can help you choose the best flooring for you, your family, and your budget. We eliminate the confusion. Even better, you'll be enjoying your new flooring much sooner. No 6 or 8 week waits. We'll install right away and save you money on installation. Floor shopping made easy every day at O Street Carpet. O Street Carpet. 1732 O Street. Family owned and operated. Always the best value.
The wait is almost over. The Guardians of Freedom Air Show is the hottest event in the area. Coming to Lincoln's Air Park on Saturday, August 26th and Sunday, August 27th. Elevate your air show experience with tickets to the premium seating tent, padded seats, meals, and more for just $125. Premium tickets are going fast, so buy yours today. To purchase premium tickets and for more information, visit LincolnAirShow.com. We'll see you at the Guardians of Freedom Air Show in late August.
Look at your car. It's filthy and probably has a few dings and nicks all over it. Don't be that guy. Get it upgraded and repaired at Renew Your Auto. At Renew Your Auto, they offer tons of services: ceramic coating, window tinting, paintless dent repair, washes and details, bed liners, body shop, and more. Where can you go to get services like that all in one place? Schedule your appointment today at renewyourauto.com. See what Renew can do for you.
Y'all feeling lucky? Luke Combs here, and I have an exclusive opportunity for you to win $500,000 by joining me in the Living Lucky with Luke Combs lottery experience. When it rains, it pours for lucky fans and lottery players who enter to win a chance of a lifetime. Join me in Nashville for a private concert at the iconic Ryman Auditorium in 2024. One lucky winner will have the chance to walk away with $500,000 at the end of the show.
Details at nelottery.com. Living Lucky with Luke Combs ticket top prize odds 1 in 128,000.
There's a lot of realtors in Lincoln, but don't get overwhelmed by all the names. Ben Bleicher with Professional Realtor Group at Berkshire Hathaway Ambassador Real Estate is your go-to option when buying or selling residential and commercial property. Ben's team offers unbeatable customer service and promises to make the buying and selling process as stress-free as possible. Call Ben today at 402-419-6309 for all your real estate needs. Ben Bleicher with Professional Realty Group at Berkshire Hathaway Ambassador Real Estate. No pressure, just professionalism.
You're listening to Big Ten Media Days coverage from Indianapolis, sponsored by Gary Michaels Clothiers, Warhorse Gaming, A1 Automotive, the 1890 Initiative, and Ben Bleicher of Professional Realty Group of BHH and Babylon 93.7 The Ticket. And then you're listening to the Happy Hour with Nick Sainert and Enrique Alvarez Clary.
Look at me. This plane is going to Jamaica.
Sponsored by Empire Fence and Netting on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Coming in hot. We told you this morning was going to be fire. We meant it. Matt Rule has joined us. Luke Reimer has joined us. And then to talk about, and I asked the question 2 segments ago, this is the group that will determine championships in the Big Ten Conference. It's just the way football is. And to get the answers, we need to bring in the big man.
Oh, yeah.
He is looking smooth today. EP, Ethan Piper. Look at you. What's happening this morning?
Oh, it's been great this morning. I don't know. I didn't know what to expect here when I came in, but it's exceeded my expectations. So it's been awesome just to see the whole setup here.
Listen, to watch you evolve over the last 9 months, brother, I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud of you because we've seen the journey. And you walked in today, and your walk is different.
Yeah.
Your walk is different, bro. What's happened in the 9 months? Why are you here? You know why. Tell us why you're here. What have you done?
You know, I'll basically, I think I just been here for so long, and I'm tired of making excuses for myself, whether that be not lifting the right amount of weight, not making the right play. I've just stopped thinking so much and just started doing, and it just usually keeps stacking days, and eventually you build enough. Like if you do things the right way so many times, that you build confidence enough that you start be able to go out and kind of hold yourself, like you said, in a higher point, and just expect more out of yourself.
Ethan, when we did our appearance this summer, and one thing jumped out to me when we were way out in the middle of nowhere, when we did that, is that you said, man, I really want Nebraska to be back and win. And you didn't hear that from a lot of guys prior.
No.
Really, he wasn't talking about, I need to play well. He was like, I want to do whatever it needs to be done.
Yeah.
Talk about when that mindset changed. Was it when Coach Rule came in? Was it Coach Raiola? Because that's how he thinks. He wants you guys to move as one. I know for a fact, and he's punctual.
Yeah.
Because if I tell him I'm going to call him at 6, he's waiting at 6, and I know that door shuts, right?
Yeah.
Weight room time. Was it him or a combination of things?
No, I think it's just a combination of things. I think Coach Raiola definitely played a major part in that. I think he, just his experience, he related a lot to me and kind of my story. And being able to form that bond and that friendship with him has been such an important part of just building, again, that confidence and that, like, figuring out what motivates you every single day.
Right.
And, like, I think this is the closest as in like a unit as the offense line has been in as long as I've been there.
Sure.
And as a team, just for the fact we got a lot of guys that have been here so long that they're not like, they know that if they're in it for themselves, that ain't gonna work.
Right.
And I think a lot of guys are now 4th, 5th year guys that are like, all we want to do is win, because we haven't been to a bowl game. I haven't been to a bowl game since I've been here.
Right.
And that's been like a huge thing, is like, doesn't matter. Like, I don't care if I get 0 minutes. I don't care if I have to play the whole game. Like, I just want Nebraska to win.
Right.
Yeah. So Ethan, just meeting you now. I'm
Yeah.
on. All right. And so hearing the conversation right now between DP and Jay and I, I'm hearing a lot of I'll say visionary type of thought. So what was that thought last year that got you to the point this year to get to the point, like DP mentioned, the way you walk in was different?
Yeah.
What was those things that happened and then got you to this point to where you realize, okay, this is the time in the year for the change for myself?
Yeah, I think just talking about my journey, the kind of like getting here, I think a lot of people have to experience this rock bottom sometimes. They have to realize that even if you fail, like, doesn't mean that, like, it's not as bad as it always seems.
Correct.
Like, you have this thing always going out there, like, what if I miss this block? What if I do this? Like, even if it happens, it's not the worst thing in the world. You're still the sun's gonna rise the next day. And then that just gives you confidence, like, going forward, you don't have that fear anymore. You're just like, now I just want to attack it. Like, I already experienced the bad stuff. Like, let's experience some of this good stuff.
Yep.
Like, let's make that happen. And the more you get the mindset, the easier things come. Now you're doing things like constantly that are winning football. And I think that a lot of those guys, and like, I'm still trying to figure it out, but a lot of guys on the team, I think, have transitioned that mindset of this is not like, I've already experienced going 3-9, 4-8,
right.
And like, even that last Iowa game, like, getting that trophy, running around that trophy, I think that gave a taste is just a little bit with what we can do here. And I think that's just a mind shift. But it's been just really cool seeing the whole team kind of embrace that mentality.
Let me ask you about the guys that you're going to line up next to and around. Like, there's been some transformation. There was some health issues, but then there is a bonding. And Jay talked about, Coach Raiola has been specific about creating the bond. Talk about these teammates that you're going to line up next to.
Oh my gosh. Like, these guys are like, brothers is an understatement. Like, these guys, I love these guys with all my heart. And we've been, like I said, we've been through the thick, thin, through injuries, through losses, through wins, whatever. These guys, I've been roommates with, I think, almost every single one of them except like Ben Scott. Like, we've been, like, we go out to eat together. We go do everything together. Like, we like always text each other. Like, we're always communicating. We're always together. which makes football so much easier because now it's makes it so much more real. So like if somebody's doing something wrong or something's doing something right, if you say it, they know you mean it. And this accountability, I think, has gone up through the roof, just especially in the offensive line room. So,
Ethan, one thing I wanted to ask you about is, you know probably about the 6 or 7 guys, but who's somebody that probably surprised you as far as stepping up, and getting a lot better?
Yeah,
right? It doesn't necessarily have to be 1 or 2 guys. It'll be 2 or 3 guys if you got it.
yeah. Like 2 guys, like especially like younger guys that really stick out to me. Like Gunnar Gatula and Sam Sledge, like
2 freshmen.
2 freshmen, and Gunnar and those guys, they kind of embraced kind of how things are done. Always taking notes, always like first freshmen I've seen around. And I'm not like everyone else has done a good job. They just, in my mind, have been,
and that's not normal.
You like
freshmen.
Yeah. And like, it's like, I always feel like they're doing something right when you don't look at them as freshmen.
Right.
Yeah. Like, especially
they
like,
don't stick out.
No, they don't stick out. They're like, oh, they're one of the guys now.
Right.
Like, so, like, especially for Sam, he's only been here for like 2 months, and it's been cool just to like, for me and him, it's like seeing him. I'm like, oh, I've like known him for like only 2 months, but feel like I've known him for a long time. So
have you guys changed a little bit of the mentality, with Coach Raiola taking it a little bit farther? And I've talked to DP about it. I felt as a unit, you guys at times played better than what people gave you credit for last year, right?
Yeah,
I felt like that. I felt like not just because you're staying here, standing or sitting across that some situations you guys weren't put in an advantageous position.
Yeah,
that's because I know football, better than the average fan. But the one thing I want to ask you about, and AG knows this as a running back, have you guys cranked up the intensity of being on the edge a little bit more? Like I used to talk to you guys about the game. I know you guys looked at me kind of crazy, playing with more of an edge.
Oh,
now I don't want to say it on the radio.
Yeah.
I'm saying you get to teeter-totter on the edge, AG, of being a little dirty, nasty, kind of grimy.
Yeah.
That's the best way to say it. You guys embrace that griminess, because I think when you do that and you guys are tight as you say you are, you can pull or push a guy to do it more or less.
Oh, yeah.
And that's where it embodies the unit. And then you bring those young little dudes with you and you leave a legacy.
Oh, yeah. I think the edge is like how I describe it is like our running backs, Anthony Grant, Gabe Irving, whoever, and then our quarterback. You form those relationships with those guys, and then you look at you look at his D linemen as like guys that are trying to kill him,
right?
And like you are the protector of those guys, and like you take that personally. And every single time you line up someone, like I am going to do everything in my power now to make sure that guy doesn't, like we always say, like make sure he comes out with like a clean jersey,
right?
Because I don't want that guy. Like I love this guy so much, I don't want anybody to touch him. So I'm gonna put my I don't care if I break my arms, I don't care if I have to like die,
right?
To like make sure that guy's protected.
So what you're saying is, we go up to Boulder, everybody's jersey gonna be dirty and up front on that offensive line. That's it. You guarantee.
Oh yeah, we're gonna be.
Okay,
that's
good.
gonna be. It's gonna be.
Because that's what we need.
Blood, sweat, grass,
that's
dirt.
the best. That's the best when you come out of a game and you all grimy like that, and AG still got a clean jersey.
Yeah.
Except for when AG used to get in the end zone, he'd slide in and did the Cristiano Ronaldo.
Oh, he do
before
a worm.
He
had to do something.
No, he did the
What?
You did the Ronaldo before Ronaldo got in there. You came in there and slid AG sitting in there, and he beat the Ronaldo. So don't let the quiet man fool you, man.
Let me ask this, Ethan, before we bring on this guy that's walking down here. We haven't talked about this quarterback, and I want to hear you talk about Jeff Sims.
Yeah. Jeff Sims. He's like, again, he's one of those guys. He just got here. Like, he came here in the winter, and again, like he's just a type of guy that you feel like you've known him in your entire life. And like, I'll talk about like last night we went out to eat and we were out there. He bought me some steak and shake, like
right.
Like he's a guy that like I feel like I've known him my entire life, and like again that relationship. He's a guy that knows how to build a relationship, and he's a great football player, very athletic, 6'4", like I don't know how heavy.
And you're not saying it because he's standing behind you.
No,
Like,
no.
no, that's not it at
No,
all.
not at all.
No, that's not it at all. Look, you know, I've told you this one-to-one. I'll say it publicly. I'm proud of who you are. I'm proud of how you do what you do. I'm looking forward to whatever greater version becomes, man.
Yeah, I'm excited. I think that's what I like. Once we get some momentum, if we start winning games around here, I think a lot of
It's not
guys.
if, it's when.
Yeah. I think
There is no tomorrow.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is Ethan Piper. Brother, thank you so much for what you're about to do.
Thank you.
All right.
Thanks, E.
Don't go anywhere. Hey, Nick, we're going to stay here because the quarterback is going to join us. So we're going to do the relay handoff. Yep. We're going to do the hand. We're going to we're going to hand off. EP, appreciate you, brother. Rashawn Jackson is going to slide in here, and we need. I'm on to talk to Jeff Sims like this.
All right, so Nick Sander back here in the Lincoln Studios. Once again, that's the Ethan Piper segment of this interview. Before we go ahead and play the Jeff Sims portion of the conversation, we're going to go ahead and take a brief time out as we approach the top of the, 3 o'clock hour almost here. So when we come back, we'll just continue right where we picked off with that conversation from the guys out in Indy. Jeff Sims, QB1 for the Huskers ahead of fall camp, coming up next. Let's do it right here on the Happy Hour, 93.7 The Ticket.
You're listening to Big Ten Media Days coverage from Indianapolis, sponsored by Gary Michaels Clothiers, Warhorse Gaming, A1 Automotive, the 1890 Initiative, and Ben Bleicher of Professional Realty Group of VHHS Ambassador Real Estate on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Download our app by searching 93.7 The Ticket in your app store to stay in touch and listen all day long wherever you are. More of the Happy Hour is next on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Y'all feeling lucky? Luke Combs here, and I have an exclusive opportunity for you to win $500,000 by joining me in the Living Lucky with Luke Combs lottery experience. When it rains, it pours for lucky fans and lottery players who enter to win a chance of a lifetime. Join me in Nashville for a private concert at the iconic Ryman Auditorium in 2024. One lucky winner will have the chance to walk away with $500,000 at the end of the show.
Details at nelottery.com. Living Lucky with Luke Combs ticket top prize odds 1 in 128,000.
Husker fans, register your kids for the Nebraska Kids Club today. Don't miss your chance to get free tickets, exclusive events, and concessions vouchers for this Husker season. For only $35, your kids can get all of that and more. For more information, visit huskers.com/kidsclub. Do you have a newborn or know someone who does? Their infant membership is the perfect gift for your newest Husker fan. They even have a free membership option. Visit huskers.com/kidsclub today. The Nebraska Kids Club, presented by Hy-Vee.
Gray Diesel and Equipment Services is your go-to place in Lincoln for repairs and maintenance for diesel pickups to Class 8 over-the-road trucks and trailers, from bumper pole utility to full-size semi. Gray performs DOT inspections and are a service provider for fleet companies like ARI, Element Fleet, and FleetNet. They're a family-owned business in operation since 1952, and they keep a clean, friendly shop. Customer service is their top priority. Give Gray Diesel and Equipment Services a visit today with easy access just off I-80 and North 56th Street.
Hi, everyone. Kendall Warnock with A1 Automotive in downtown Lincoln. If you're looking for an automotive repair facility you can genuinely trust, we would be grateful for the opportunity to earn your business repairing your vehicle. We have ASE master technicians and qualified to work on a variety of vehicles from Hondas to Porsches, Jaguars to Toyotas, and Chevrolets to Fords. We pride ourselves on customer service and relationships, and we would be grateful for the opportunity to serve you. Give us a call at 402-477-4660. A1 Automotive. Always honest answers.
You're listening to Big Ten Media Days coverage from Indianapolis, sponsored by Gary Michaels Clothiers, Warhorse Gaming, A1 Automotive, the 1890 Initiative, and Ben Bleicher of Professional Realty Group of VHHS Ambassador Real Estate on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. You're listening to the Happy Hour with Nick Sainert.
I vomited last night.
And Enrique Alvarez Clary.
I literally vomited. I threw up.
On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, after that short break, it's now time that we take you back to Indianapolis, where earlier this morning, DP and the guys talked to QB1 for the Nebraska Cornhuskers, Jeff Sims, the Georgia Tech transfer, taking over for Casey Thompson. And going to be Marcus Satterfield's quarterback here in the 2023 offense for the Huskers. So here is the conversation from earlier today out in Lucas Oil Stadium at Big Ten Media Days with the quarterback, Jeff Sims.
Listen, like we need look the hand down. No, we need you. Yeah, we need stay here.
I'm staying here.
We need.
Say hello.
Yeah, no, we
Once he
need
gets his
this.
bag put away.
No, we need
How you
this
doing?
lot. Look, here's the thing: that the season, as it's developing, stories have emerged, and then the superheroes and the leaders of that story often come into play.
Yeah.
And the story gets better when you know who the hero is. When you get to know who he is, let's welcome Jeff Sims to the ticket. How are you, brother?
I'm doing good. Thank you for having me.
Now see. Here's the thing. This is when you need to be on the stream, and I know it's radio, but this is when you need to be on the stream because you have to see young man to get the full
effect,
picture,
full
right?
effect.
That coming in from Georgia Tech, choosing Nebraska, and then saying, "Listen, not only is it important for me to be here, but now I need to get to work."
Yeah.
And you've had some opportunities, and a lot of folks don't know. In all of your business dealings, you have asked for one thing, and I'm going to tell you, it tells you who the young man is, that he asked that his teammates be taken care of as well.
Yep.
Jeff, where does that come from?
I think just growing up, I've always been the type of dude to pass all the sunshine and spotlight on my teammates. And I think that's something that is big for me because it shows the guys that I want them to have the spotlight. I want them to have opportunities too. So I think just knowing that I'm a selfless guy would help me out in my leadership role.
Right.
What has been the biggest adjustment from Atlanta to Lincoln, Nebraska?
Really the only big thing was when it was cold.
Yeah.
So when it was cold, it was kind of hard for me. And I'm from Florida, so I ain't never really experienced that much cold. And that was really the biggest thing. But summertime right now, the weather is pretty good. It's kind of hot, so that's pretty good.
Yeah, this is gonna be a good time of the year
Yeah.
for you in the summer. So coming in, like DV brought up, something different from where you were down in Atlanta, but from a team standpoint, being at GT and coming here, what is the things you see how you could fit in to this roster and make it better and bring it up a notch?
So one of the big things I noticed since I've been here is my leadership has grown a lot. I'm doing a lot of things that I did not do at GT. And I think that's something that I wanted to do when I got here, like just be a better leader for my team.
Right.
And just hanging out with more teammates, getting to know different guys on the team, and not like because at Georgia Tech I kind of had like a couple people that I hung out with.
Yeah.
But like now being here, I'm making it my mission to just get to know everybody, and hanging out with everybody, doing different things, and just seeing what they like.
Yeah, getting to grow a little bit.
Yep.
Jeff, hey man, I'm excited to see you, but how excited are you for this season? How much have you guys worked this summer to prepare yourself? Have y'all hit 17? Have y'all hit them stairs out there?
Yeah.
Talk to us a little bit about the preparation to going into this season.
Yeah, man, I'm very excited. Our offseason has been really good. Like our strength coaches, they did a good job at introducing us to different stuff and taking care of us, but we working hard. You talked about the 17, we hit that, and the team was really excited to do it too. That's one of the things I noticed. So that's really made me excited. Like we hit the 17, we sat up there for a little bit, we talked, we looked at the stadium, looked around Lincoln, and we was just all like really excited to get to the season. So I think the offseason has been really good, and it's time to get to work, go to camp.
Speak a little bit about leadership, locker room leadership, what that looks like, and moving forward, what do you guys got to do to come together as a team and maybe put a string of wins together?
Yeah, so our coaches has been harping on all offseason about being friends and not buddies. So like telling each other when we're wrong and telling each other like, telling each other when we're wrong and bringing the people along with you, but knowing if a guy's not doing right, like you can't wait on him to catch up to you. Like, that's something that we've been harping on, just making sure we holding each other accountable, being a player-led team, and just making sure every dude on the team is doing what they're supposed to do.
Through all of this, you get the opportunity to change a culture. change of culture. In your mind, what does this team need to do to be successful right away?
I think we just need to come together as brothers. I think that's something that's the biggest thing we've been harping on all offseason was brotherhood, and just making sure that everybody on the team has each other's back, and we going out there and playing for each other no matter what, and just knowing in every situation we got each other.
Give us the scouting. Give us the Jeff Sims scouting report. Go third person. Talk to me about Jeff Sims.
All right. I mean, Jeff Sims is an elite quarterback.
Say that louder for the ones in the back.
Yeah, Jeff Sims is an elite quarterback. He's an elite passer, and he's a dangerous runner. And that's something that people don't know about Jeff Sims yet, though. And Jeff Sims he's gonna do big things in Nebraska.
Big things is relevant because at the quarterback position, we think of it as a certain way, in a certain form, in a certain mold. You're breaking that mold because you don't look like the typical quarterback.
Yeah.
First of all, your blazer is screaming at the bicep. like it's screaming. It's like, wait a minute. Hey, Jeff, give us a break, bro.
He gonna need them. He gonna need them muscles in the Big Ten, man.
Look, this is special that an elite athlete, an elite. But talk to me about the young man. Who is the young man? Who got you here?
God.
Right?
I mean, I grew up in church. I mean, Jeff, my dad is a minister in the church. I grew up just always putting my faith in God and just knowing that in any situation I got him. So that's where a lot of my credit goes to. And then my family, that's my support system. I got a great support system. My mom, dad, my little brother, and just my whole family. Like they really believe in me. They believe in my cousin. They believe like anything that my family does, we're always supporting. So I think that support has taken me a long way too.
See, that's the chase advantage. The thing about Jeff Sims is that people aren't going to see him coming. They know he's strong. They know he's fast. But to find out his foundation is what's going to be a huge difference maker. And I'm telling you, this fan base is going to be excited about having you as the leader of this team. Now, I'll ask you, I'm going to say these two words to you. Tell me what comes to mind. Beat Minnesota. What comes to mind?
Beat Minnesota.
That's it. 2 words. Beat Minnesota.
Beat Minnesota.
That's the move. That is the move. The guys around you, and Big Ten is look. Nebraska, there was a time when Nebraska was running back you.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, when you have Amon Green, you're talking about the GOAT. The dudes behind you. Talk to me about the dudes behind you. Who are we know Grant a little. We know Ramir, we know Irvin, but in your mind, describe those three runners that'll line up behind you.
Yeah, them three are dangerous. We got a little bit of everything. Gabe the power back. Ramir really the scat back, really the speedy guy, and Grant AG he can do it both. So like having those three guys is really elite for us because we can be a multi-dimensional offense and we can separate, like we can switch in the 3 running backs and we can really do whatever.
Yeah, that's what I call a defensive coordinator nightmare.
Yeah.
So DP talk about those 3 running backs, and so how the tradition was I back you way back when during my time. But obviously, coming in when you made the choice to come here, you knew when you hear everybody knows when you hear Nebraska, a certain picture runs through everybody's mind. Once you got here, what was different? What was the one thing you saw different when you got here? Because you knew coming here before then, what national titles back in the 90s, all that stuff. But when you got here, what was the picture that you then saw walking in that locker room?
That's a tough question.
This is a tough question. I'll give you a little simpler question. All right.
Okay.
This is something I faced my freshman year. So right after 2-a-days, Coach Sola set me down, was my running back coach, asked me, do I want to wear this jersey? The jersey in front of me was number 30. The person before that, nobody worn that jersey since Mike Rozier was one of our Heisman Trophy winners. And of course, I was nervous.
Yeah.
Didn't want, it's like asking me if I was a Bull to put on 23, Michael Jordan jersey. So I went home, went to my dorm room, called my older brother. We had a conversation. And he's like, you sound a little nervous. I said, yeah, they asked me to wear this jersey, number 30. He's like, okay, so He's like, I know who wore it before you. I said, so what's the problem? He said, so what's the problem? I was like, I don't know. He's like, create your own path.
Yeah.
Don't worry about what we already know what Mike Rozier did. So what's the path that you want to create here for yourself?
Yeah.
Coming from GT.
So when I actually have an answer for the first question too. So
Okay.
when I first walked into the locker room, I just seen a lot of tradition. And I just thought about how back in the day, Nebraska was, Nebraska was the team to beat.
Correct.
So once I walked in that locker room, I was like, all right, my main mission is to be the year that gets Nebraska back on that path.
Mm-hmm.
So like whatever we got to do in this offseason, do that. That's what we're gonna do. And I think Coach Rule, he has the same mindset, and that's something that he's been harping on. And he said, like, I noticed even last night, I was at dinner with a couple of players from the Nebraska team that's, been winning all the national championships. And it was just crazy to see how to this day they still brothers.
Yeah.
And like you could tell that team back in the day, they probably would do anything for each other.
Oh yeah.
And I say
that's true.
Once I seen that, I was like, all right, we need to get to that point to like where we're so tight, like nobody can break us. And like we have each other's back. So I think that's the biggest thing that's going to propel us forward, because we got the work ethic, we got the talent, we got everything. The biggest thing for us is coming together as a team and being brothers. Like I want to be able to see guys from this team 30 years later and he still be my brother,
Exactly.
So that's been the biggest thing.
Okay.
Fan base. Fan base. What's the difference between Georgia Tech fan base and Nebraska fan base? Huh? We excited? What?
It's a wide gap between them two. The fan base in Nebraska is amazing. They're very supportive, and they just Nebraska, like they love everything Nebraska: volleyball, basketball, tennis. Like I seen a tennis match sold out. I was like, man, what is going on?
Right.
So that's been the biggest difference. Like just how much they love Nebraska, and no matter what, they're gonna love Nebraska. So that's that. I love the fan base.
You have a chance to do something special and to put us. When I say us, I think I speak for Amon, I speak for Jay, I speak for Terrell, Damon, all of us that played back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
You have our full support.
Yeah,
100%. We are behind you. We are behind the football team, and if you need something, we're here for you. You know what I'm saying? I'm so excited for you guys to change the complexity and how people look at Nebraska football for the rest of this time. With my grandson, who's 7 months old, hopefully he'll be in your position one day in 18 years, and maybe you'll be in our position talking to him. So I'm excited for you. I'm excited for us. Yeah. I'm excited for the fans, and it's an honor to get to meet you, man. You're a leader, bro.
It's an honor to meet y'all. Y'all
You're
the
a leader.
ones that started it.
Well, in case you didn't know, you now got a bunch of uncles and cousins.
I was literally about to say that.
In case you hadn't,
Hey,
right?
I was literally about to say those exact words.
This is how we
I
know.
was just about to say those
You
exact words.
recognize, game recognizes game, and good recognizes good.
Yep.
And you can get behind when you understand that somebody has that thing.
got you.
Yes, sir.
Nebraska fans, Nebraska Nation, Husker Nation, you're fortunate. We're glad to have you. And now we're excited to watch what you're about to become. It's going to be glorious. We're going to let you get out of here because other people need to have access to you.
Yeah, I know.
We'll keep you over here. Like we're just hog him up, DP.
No, he'll come back. We're going to
Right.
get him back
Okay,
at the end of the day.
cool.
That's
Yeah,
going to happen.
cool.
But here's the thing. Husker Nation, I want you to understand something, and some will get this and some won't.
Yeah.
This young man came up here in a three-piece suit and tore it up. The three-piece is eaten.
Oh,
well done, kind sir.
Dang.
Well done. Ladies and gentlemen,
black on black.
that is Jeff Sims. That is the quarterback. That's the future. Kind sir, appreciate you, bro.
Thank you.
Appreciate it, bro.
All right, we'll go to break. Nick, when we come back, more
All
from
right.
Big Ten
Go do
Media
your thing.
Days, Lucas Oil Stadium.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. The home of Kansas City Royals baseball. KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket. You're listening to Big Ten Media Days coverage from Indianapolis. Sponsored by Gary Michaels Clothiers, Warhorse Gaming, A1 Automotive, the 1890 Initiative, and Ben Blaker of Professional Realty Group of VHHS Ambassador Real Estate on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Sandhills Global is hiring. Check out sandhills.jobs for more information. Sandhills is looking to fill hundreds of new openings in sales, traveling support, software development, web design, and more. Sandhills has a professional culture and is fast-paced with a focus on growth, innovation, and leading-edge technologies. Career and internship opportunities are available at our global headquarters in Lincoln, Nebraska. Apply today at sandhills.jobs.
It's a new era for Nebraska football with a new head coach. Gear up for the season with 93.7 The Ticket's coverage of Big Ten Media Days. Live from Lucas Oil Stadium in Indianapolis on July 26th and 27th. Jay Foreman, Amon Green, Vershawn Jackson, Terrell Farley, Derek Pearson, Steve Sipple, and Jake Sorensen will be in Indy for our shows on Wednesday and Thursday. Coverage of Big Ten Media Days is brought to you by Ben Bleicher of Professional Realty Group of BHHS Ambassador Real Estate, Gary Michaels Clothiers, Warhorse Gaming, A1 Automotive, and the 1890 Initiative.
Gray Diesel and Equipment Services is your go-to place in Lincoln for repairs and maintenance for diesel pickups to Class 8 over-the-road trucks and trailers, from bumper pole utility to full-size semi. Gray performs DOT inspections and are a service provider for fleet companies like ARI, Element Fleet, and FleetNet. They're a family-owned business in operation since 1952, and they keep a clean, friendly shop. Customer service is their top priority. Give Gray Diesel and Equipment Services a visit today with easy access just off I-80 and North 56th Street.
Husker fans, register your kids for the Nebraska Kids Club today. Don't miss your chance to get free tickets, exclusive events, and concessions vouchers for this Husker season. For only $35, your kids can get all of that and more. For more information, visit huskers.com/kidsclub. Do you have a newborn or know someone who does? Their infant membership is the perfect gift for your newest Husker fan. They even have a free membership option. Visit huskers.com/kidsclub today. The Nebraska Kids Club, presented by Hy-Vee.
Husker fans, this is Matt Davison with the 1890 Initiative. You've probably heard about NIL, name, image, and likeness. And now you can have an immediate impact on the success of our programs. The 1890 Initiative is Nebraska's premier NIL company. And with your help, we can maximize our student athletes' opportunities with NIL and prepare them for life after college. Nebraska has always been